How do you get her back when she's pulling away or when she's already left? So, the king of kings, as far as getting exes back, is Coach Corey Wayne. And he's got a great video, which is actually called The 7 Principles to Get Your Ex Back, or something similar to that. And I'm going to actually go through some of his suggestions. Now, I do agree with most of what Coach Corey teaches, but there are a few exceptions. So you can take what you will and decide what you think will work for you and leave the rest behind. So let's just go through some of the tips that he suggests, and I will kind of give you my take on that, as well as give you my own tips that I think will work or could work if they're a little bit different than the coach Corey. So the first tip that Coach Corey suggests is that you should not accept the friend zone under no circumstances, or any circumstances. That's my gooder English. Anyways, so here's actually the first thing that I disagree with in a way. The contingency for me in my recommendation is that if you can't be friends with your ex or the person who's pulling away, then absolutely you should not be friends with them until you can actually see them with someone else and be okay with it. Like truly in your gut of guts. Because if you can't do that, then you're not really being a friend. You're there for an ulterior motive. You want to get her back. Now, obviously you do want to get her back or you wouldn't be watching this video. But if you're there trying to pretend to be her friend, she's definitely going to feel that, and she's going to know that you want more. And it's going to be not creepy, but she will sense your inauthenticity about the relationship. So the only way you can actually continue to be her friend is if you can actually be her friend, knowing that she might be banging other guys. Oh my God. If you can't do that, you can't be friends, because you won't act like a true friend. And the thing is that there are benefits to the friend zone. I've done another video on benefits of the friend zone, and every guy should actually have several female friends, particularly single female friends, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But if you can't genuinely see this person as a friend and not just want to desperately get them back in your life, then you can't go to the friend zone. So that's the key there. The reason why Coach Corey suggests absolute no friend zone for anybody is because most of the people who are watching this video or who watch his videos are not capable of going to the friend zone and being totally cool with it. And by being totally cool with that means also that you're dating other people, because, you know, if your best friend is like Kyle, you don't give a fuck who he's fucking. You're going to be out there like looking for chicks for yourself, right? And you should be. So you have to be able to treat your girlfriend or your past girlfriend or the girl that's walking away as though she was Kyle. All right, Kyle, go for it. Good for you. Bang, bang, bang. I'm going to as well. Now, if you can't do that, you can't be friends. So that's the first principle. And then the second thing is that you need to be able to tell her what you want from the relationship. Like if you want to be in a physical or sexual relationship or intimate or exclusive or whatever, you tell her what you want from the relationship, and then you leave it at that. You walk away from the deal. So whoever is willing to walk away from the deal has the stronger negotiating position. So if she's walked away already, then you're already in the weaker position. And the only way for you to get back into a stronger position, an alpha position, which is what she needs from you because you've shown weakness. If she's walking away, it's because you've shown weakness. The only way to do this is to tell her what you want, and then say, if you want to give this to me, or if you're willing to meet me where I need you to be, then great. Let's talk. Let's get together and do this. And if not, then you walk away forever. You don't look back. You don't call again. You don't text. She's dead to you. She doesn't exist. You don't stalk her. You don't cyber stalk her. You don't connect with her. You don't say happy birthday. Nothing. She no longer exists on the planet, and you move on. So that's the next thing. You don't move on without asking for what you want, though, because then how is she supposed to know if you're even still interested? You have to be like confident about what your needs are and not needy and insecure and desperate and clingy and all the rest of it. Oh, please never beg. Oh my God, never beg. But just be clear and firm. Damn it, I've got a dirty mind. Okay, So be clear about what you want, tell her, and then say, you know what, if that works for you, get back to me. If not, I'm going to carry on with my life. And you need to mean it, and you need to be in that headspace when you say this, not in an antagonistic or aggressive way, but just in a freaking self-respect kind of way, so that she knows that you finally have some strength back in the relationship and some self-respect. Because if you can't respect yourself or act accordingly, then she can't respect you, and that's part of the reason she's gone or is leaving, is pulling away. And these principles apply whether she's pulling away or if she's already exited. So just keep that in mind. You need to get back into a position of strength and confidence and being okay on your own. Otherwise, she is going to feel that, and all it's going to do is turn her off more, and she's going to just want to keep going. So the next point is, if she does come back, like if she does contact you, now it might be a few days, it might be a few weeks, it might be a few months before she even comes back. But under no circumstances, after you've asked for what you want and then you walk away and you're in the no contact zone, like you're not reaching out anymore, she must come to you. So if she does reach out to you, then your only goal is to get together. Like as Coach Corey says, what does he say? Hang out, have fun, and hook up. That's the goal. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. There's no attachment. There's no expectation. You just want to hang out, have fun, and hook up. And so if she does contact you, then that's what you're going to suggest. Hey, I'm so glad to hear from you. Why don't we get together and, do dinner at my place? Which is another suggestion Coach Corey has, which I agree with as well, because if you've already been with this girl and you're intimate with her, like you've had sex, then you want to be in a place where she can relax and be comfortable, and you can move to the bedroom or the couch, or, whatever, the counter, when you get to that stage. So that's the goal, is to be in a position or a place where it's comfortable and you can naturally move to the next stages of the seduction phase so that you can get her back into bed. And so again, if she contacts you, then you want to get together, and make sure to keep your interaction with this really short, like 2 to 3 back and forth texts, or if you're on the phone, a little bit of conversation, 2 or 3 minutes of conversation, but you must close the deal. So you're going to close the deal, or you're going to be busy and you're going to exit the conversation, whether it's a text or, a phone call, or in person if you happen to run into her, or whatever. Like if she shows up, heck, if she shows up, invite her in. Don't elongate the conversation, because you want to close the deal. And what's the motto is, always leave them wanting more. Always leave them wanting more. So close the deal. And if she says no, then that's okay. Then you say, hey, no worries. Carry on. If you change your mind, let me know. And then, I'm kind of busy, so I got to go, but have a great day, or have a great weekend. Hope to hear from you soon. That's it. End of conversation. Don't beg, don't chase, don't rationalize, don't, and here's a big tip. Don't try to use logic, because logic doesn't work with women. It's all about emotions. Women make decisions based on emotional input, and that's it. So she's already determined her emotional state of leaving based on your emotional state when you were together, or if she's starting to pull away, she's basing it on what your emotional state is now. And there's a high likelihood that your emotional state translates into clingy, needy, insecure, and you are placing value on her higher than you're placing your own value. You must see yourself as more valuable than she is. I know this is sometimes hard, because you put women on a pedestal and you think that they're out of your league, and then intuitively and subconsciously she starts to think that as well, and she doesn't want to be with a man that's lower value than she is. She needs to feel like she's won the dating game. So keep that in mind as well. And then the next point is, you need her to do 100% of the chasing. So even if she does come over, or if she says, okay, well, maybe, then again, it's like, okay, great. If you decide you want to, then let me know. And you leave it at that. You do not contact her again. You need to let her come to you. It needs to be her idea. If it's her idea to come back to you, then she will subconsciously reaffirm that decision within herself. She will convince herself subconsciously that it's a good choice. And people like to be congruent with their choices, so you have to let her chase you. And that doesn't mean that you're unavailable. It means that you just let her come to you. You let her initiate the conversation. You still keep them short. Your goal in every conversation is to get together, have fun, hook up, and hang out. Like that's your only, that's from now on in, is hang out, have fun, hook up. And if you have a tendency to become needy or desperate or clingy or insecure, then that will have to be your motto for the rest of your life. Always leave them wanting more. So, if she does start initiating, then great. Like you don't have to contact her, because she's going to be contacting you, and you can make plans. And every time you get together, you hang out, have fun, and hook up. And then she keeps coming back to you. Now, if she doesn't, just leave her. Leave her be. Do not chase. You can't chase women, because guess what happens? They run away. They see that they are higher value than you are of higher value. So you need to be out in the world dating other people. And if you're already in a relationship with her and she hasn't actually left you quite yet, but she's kind of starting to pull away, you need to start reining in yourself first to show her that you don't need her. Women don't want to be needed. They want to be wanted, right? So we say we want to be needed, but that's not really the biological truth of what we actually respond to as far as attraction goes. So you need to be a high value guy out in the world where there's the potential some other woman is actually going to see you and want you, and that creates competition in her mind, and also shows her that you have higher value, that she risks losing you to somebody else because she's pulling away. So you need to let her come to you and not chase her. So how many times have I said this in this video? Do not chase her. Do not act needy. Do not try to negotiate. And I think I've only pointed out 5 of the tips. I'll put a link below to Coach Corey's article on this. And I think he's done a video as well, so I'll link that as well. And you can watch the full video. It's a little bit more geared towards people who've been in a relationship, but the principles are the same. If you are in a relationship, whether she's already left you and you've been in a long-term relationship, or if you're just courting or just at the beginning stages of dating, essentially it's the same thing. You need her to be, wanting to come to you, and there's things that you can do that will appeal to her wanting you, and that's about driving up your own status or your value. And that comes in with, so things you can do about that is make sure that you have your own hobbies, your own interests, your own passions, that you are pursuing a career or a path or some kind of purpose in life. Men need to have purpose. Women need men to have purpose. So that's super important. And you need to be out in the world, because even if right now you're in a committed relationship where you've agreed that there's monogamy, she needs to know that there is the potential someone else is going to grab you out. No, well, not grab you like literally, but that somebody else is going to potentially steal you away from her if she doesn't smarten up and get back in the sack with you. So hopefully that helped. If you want more specifics on this, then definitely write it in the comments below. And if you want me to go into a little bit more detail about the friend zone as far as getting your ex back, or as far as how you can kind of play that out a bit more, then let me know, and I might do another video specifically on that, because it is it's a challenge. Like, most guys won't be able to do that effectively, because they'll just end up counseling her and she will run into the arms of some other dude. Most guys are not strong enough, alpha enough, confident enough to be able to do that. But there are some benefits, and if you think you might be able to go there, the key is, are you okay with her fucking somebody else? That's the key. If you can't do that, you can't do the friend zone option. Like, that's the end of the story on that one. And then one other principle, and I know I've left a couple out or I've put them out of order, but there's one other principle that Coach Corey and I both agree on, and that is, if you're the one that dumped her and you're regretting it, you can contact her once. Basically just to say, I'm sorry I was a douchebag, and I'd actually like to fix this. I do want to be with you. If you're still interested, let me know. Let's work it out. Once, just once, that's it, no more. And then you leave it at that, and you still go along with the other principles of what happens if she does contact you, if she doesn't, and what to do after that. As well, here's one thing, is that if you didn't do the dumping, but you were unattached, needy, desperate, nice guy that basically drove her away with your insecure little girl behavior, then my opinion is that, and this is something that Coach Corey again would disagree with, but my opinion is that you can send her one message or one phone call if you can actually gather the gumption to be able to say it the way I'm saying it, with no neediness, no desperation, just one last hurrah. Then you can say something like this: you know what? I am sorry for being a needy, insecure idiot. I was a complete douchebag. I can't believe you put up with me for as long as you did. I'm really sorry about that. I realize that that was such a major turnoff. If you want to give it another go, then, I would like to. If not, I completely understand. Have a good life, and I wish you the best. So that's it. You're coming to the conclusion that, holy shit, I've driven her away from my needy, insecure behavior. And I realize that. And so if you tell her that and leave it at that, and then don't go back to her ever again, then she might realize that you've realized that you were acting totally beta, totally weak, and now you get it. So if you can do that in the tone of voice, with the self-confidence, with the attitude that you're walking away from the deal and it doesn't bother you if she comes back or not, then to do that one thing. But if you can't, if your voice cracks, or if you're going to try and convince her, or if you're going to wait to get it into a conversation with her, at that moment, don't, because it won't work. You will only further drive her away. If you can say that and end the conversation just saying, think about it, and if you want to come back, great, and if not, I wish you the best. I'm going to carry on with my life as well. And if she says, well, what do you mean? Just say, I realize I've screwed up, and I'm not going to be weak anymore. And if you want to get together, let's get together. And if not, that's okay too. And leave it at that. Drop the conversation. And if she doesn't ever come back, same thing. Don't chase her. 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 Write it in the comments below. I promise not to chase her. And if she comes back, then she will know that you have changed, because she left what she believed was a weak man, and she will only come back if she believes there's a possibility that you've actually finally gathered your masculine strength again. So there's a couple of areas there where Coach Corey and I may differ slightly, but essentially we're on the same page. So you lost her. Dude, I know it's really painful. It's physically painful. It's actually physiologically painful. There's pain in the heart, and it's actually physical. Even though you already know that, because you just want to die sometimes. Don't die. It's not worth it. Totally. My eyebrows drive me crazy. There. That's where it's going to be. Somewhere there. Whatever. Anyway. All right. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.